We're gonna need a bunch of iron-on patches. We're gonna need a Black Panther to sew on to the back. We're gonna need any varsity jacket of your liking, but I chose black. So I got these cute little iron-on patches. I got all these from Shein for different prices. And this is all the iron-on patches that I have. And I'm gonna add these onto a jacket. And I got this Nipsey Hussle one, New Orleans, and like these little 96, like all that original. And I have like these paws. I got this lip one with a bullet in it. Money. Some little hearts with fire. And these were actually bigger than I thought they would have been. And I got this letter G. And these are all the iron-on patches that I have. And they are really cute. And I also got this one. It's not really an iron-on patch. It looks like you have to sew it onto the material that you're using. And this is like how I got this little thing. So I'm going to have to sew it from there. And I'm going to have to hand sew it. And I can't do it on the machine. Of course, they have all these little bedazzles and stuff like that on it. I think it's a Jaguar, y'all. I'm not sure. But this is the thing that we got. And this is black. And it's going to go on black material. And I'm going to show y'all the jacket in a minute. Got this jacket from Shein, and I'll put the price right here at the top. And it's like a little Leatherman jacket. They got leather on the pocket part. This part is like a soft material. This is like a suede material. And they have like the black buttons. And this is how like the buttons look on the inside, black buttons. And this is the material in the inside. It's like a silky material. And like the neck. And these are the sleeves. It's like a leather material. And this is a size large. This is a size large in this jacket. And this is the back part of the jacket. And you could put like a lot of stuff back here, you know, DIY how you want it to. And yeah, y'all, let's get straight into doing this video so y'all can see how cute this finna turn out. It's gonna be fire. This idea came straight off my head, but I had a few inspirations from seeing some varsity jackets around. I saw one varsity jacket with some bones on it, and I went straight with that idea, but I made it my own thing. But the verses came straight off the dome. I chose walk by faith, not by sight. But I'm glad I chose that quote because it went perfectly with the Nipsey patch. I took the verse apart, then added it in a cool way. And I chose 2 Corinthians 5:7, walk by faith, not by sight. And that was one of the verses that I used. And it went perfectly for this boy themed jacket because all boys should walk by faith and not by sight. The red iron-on wasn't sticking to the jacket, so I had to change the color of the font, so you'll see later on in the video. So I started mapping everything out where I wanted it to go, for I won't do any mess ups. And then I took a picture of it, and then I just repressed everything at the end that you'll see. This is the layout of everything so far. So what y'all think about this layout? Let me know down below in the comment section down below, and let me know what y'all would have did differently or what y'all like and what y'all didn't like. So let me know down below in the comment section. I went ahead and laid the bones onto the jacket and made sure it was on there pretty good. And then I made sure it was really flat. And then I went ahead and put my Teflon sheet on and pressed it. But some kind of way, y'all, my heat press was too high. I don't know if I had it too high or it was like on for too long, but some kind of way it kind of burnt the bones. But at the same time, I'm glad that it did that because y'all, the effect that it gave the bone, it was so fire. And I'm glad I did burn this. See, God know what exactly what he be doing. He know what he be doing. For this part, I used a hot glue gun to give the patches some more security. I added the glue to the back, but when doing this process, do not add glue close to the edge because if you add the glue to the edge of the patch, it will seep through and it will look tacky. And also let it dry for an hour or a few minutes because it's still hot from the glue. And make sure you press down on these patches real good to let that glue seep under the patch really good. With this original patch that I'm doing, I took like where that blue line is at and I added it right there. It's close to the edge but not stupid close to the edge for the glue won't seep out and it will look crazy and all tacky and everything just look all crazy. Everything that glitters is not gold, y'all. I did all this in one day. I stood up all night doing this and was so tired for Christmas. I started on this Christmas Eve at 9 a.m. to the next day to 6 a.m. the next morning. So I was so tired for Christmas, y'all, but I made it through Christmas and that sleep was well needed. The next day I was knocked out like a light. I'm gonna tell y'all, Christmas night I was gone. I made it through Christmas, but I was so tired, y'all. But I only had like a few hours of sleep. I think I had 1 hour of sleep from doing this jacket because my brother really wanted this jacket for Christmas. So I made it for him and y'all, he loved it. And I was happy for the surprise that he seen on his face. The surprise that I seen on his face. The reason why I was trying to add the whole verse with the twin-step song, but the letters kept being too small, etc. I played with that the whole time. Then I had to hand sew the sleeves because the E6000 sleeves right off the leather sleeves. But I'm glad I got everything done because he loves everything about it. And then too, y'all, my fingernails, my nails, my back, my legs, everything was hurting from someone and sitting down at that one little desk the whole time, the whole day, y'all. And that bath was well needed with some Epsom salt. Yes, ma'am. I noticed a lot of these patches was red and black and they really fit the theme well with this jacket being black. And it really went very well with this idea for the jacket. They didn't have a lot of red in it, but as y'all can see, I didn't use the red letters, so the white still pulled it off really good. And this is the Nipsey patch outside of the bag because I kept on showing y'all the Nipsey patch inside the bag. So I'm going to show y'all the detailing because the detailings were really nice on the patch. And of course we chose the letter G because his name started with a G, and he wanted red, and he wanted the fuzzy letter. So that's what we had got, and I got that off Amazon, y'all. And yeah, and he wanted it to be pretty big, so that's why we got it off Amazon instead, because Shein didn't have the really big ones that we wanted, and the fluffy ones like we wanted. They had like the little flat kind, like it'd be like embroidered in it, like those kind, but it wasn't the fuzzy kind, so that's why we just got it off Amazon. And the other patches, we just got that off Shein. And a lot of these patches, I just let him choose what patches he want, and I just picked them out, and he just chose the ones that he wanted, and that's what we got for the jacket. And this money one was so cute, and it was so different. And I actually saw these on Etsy, but I think they was a little bit higher on Etsy, and I got them cheaper on Shein. So yeah, go look on Shein for a lot of those patches, but Etsy do have a lot of cool patches on there as well, but they are pretty pricey. So y'all saw this cute little New Orleans patch, and I was looking up like New Orleans patches, like fleur de lis patches, and I saw no kind of fleur de lis patches that I liked. And this one popped up and it said New Orleans, and y'all know we from New Orleans, and it was so cute, y'all. So y'all know I had to get that one, and it went perfectly with the jacket. Even though it had purple in it, it still kind of gave it another little 1-2 to the jacket, not just all red and black, just to make the colors not too much. We didn't want the colors to be too matchy matchy. We wanted a little more pop to it with a little, different colors to it. So I remapped everything back out again because I wanted to make sure that I'm gonna place it in the right places, and took everything out of its packaging. And so I replaced everything, and then I'm gonna add the glue on the back of all the patches. And I was trying to make sure that I'm moving pretty fast with this hot glue, because once hot glue dry, that is a disaster. So I was trying to move pretty fast, but also show y'all on the camera as well, because the camera, trying to make sure it's focusing real well for y'all to see. And for two, I wasn't trying to get it on the jacket. As y'all can see, I'm using this little bitty disc, and I'm trying not to get it on that jacket. So that's why I'm trying to hurry up and move fast with the G and the rest of the patches, because it would have been bad.
Say what your name is. Oh yeah, that bitch your girl. Tell me where you headed. Can I walk with you, girl? You got that look in your eyes that look like you give your boy here a good old time, and I'm on it, girl. That's right, I'm on it, girl. See, this is the first time I had a girl whose looks set me on fire. I'm really trying to get to know you better, girl. You ain't gotta act like you're shy. 'Cause we gon' do something is gon' get done, and we gon' get crunk and have a lot of fun. And I say, shawty, she wearing her hair, she working them jeans, she talking that talk just like I like it. She keep it on and poppin'. Shawty keep it on and poppin'. Ooh, yeah.
I do like how I layered it, like the New Orleans, the original, and the heart one. I like how I layered it on top of each other instead of just putting it onto like the jacket like the rest of them, because I didn't like that it was just all over the place like that. So y'all know me, I gotta be extra and add an extra little touch to it. So I'm glad that I added that little touch because I didn't want it to look, just all the patches just sitting there. And that was the only patch I did like that, and I'm glad I did do it like that. And the rest of them I just kind of spaced them out. And like the bone and like the lettering gave it an extra little touch because the jacket kind of would have been plain if I didn't add that to it. And y'all know me, I just don't like too much plain things. So y'all know me, I gotta be a little extra and add a little 1-2 to it. So that took time as well too when I went into the computer and edited everything. And that took time too, y'all.
Try to keep it on and popping. Ooh, yeah.
So I went ahead and started spreading like the top of my sleeve out, and I went ahead and ironed those patches onto the shoulder area because I needed that part to be flat as possible before we could iron that onto that part of the jacket. Because if we don't put it onto like that shoulder area, like where it have like the stitching where the jacket ends, then it wouldn't look right. So you have to flatten that part out best as possible. And out of any of the patches, I would recommend this patch because it's thin and it goes on really well when it's time to iron it on. And I would just recommend these werewolf patches, y'all. The ones that kind of gave me the most trouble was the vintage 96 one, and I would say the Nipsey one and the New Orleans one because they are pretty thick, and I guess that's why it gave me the most trouble to iron it on. So I really had to press that into the jacket well as possible with my heat press or my everyday iron. And as y'all could kind of hear that New Orleans bounce going on in the back. And I kind of just placed the pause in the 77 patch all over, and I just hand sewed those. And then this one, I just did a couple minutes on each of the patches from the bottom to the top. And then make sure each patch is fully secure on each side. And I'm pretty sure all my line on patches secured while we pull my other patches. So the bleeding keeps doing my babies, that's why I said early on in the video, make sure you wait an hour or like at least 15 minutes before touching these because the patches are really hard to hot glue. And when you add the iron and the heat press to it, it's gonna be, the glue is gonna seep through from the bottom. So make sure you're not putting the glue right on the edge. And just peel back the edges of every patch, and that's how you know that all of them are fully secured down onto the jacket. Because the first time I did the first patch, it was the vintage 96 one, and the glue kind of seeped from the bottom, and it was about to make me cry at first because y'all know I don't play about my work. And so the glue seeped from the bottom, and it kind of got a little bit on the jacket, but it wasn't, as much. It was just around the edges, and I didn't like that look, but y'all know I just had to keep going, and I went ahead and kept going, and it really worked out, y'all. So that's why I'm telling y'all, make sure that part is dry and secured, because if it's not, then you're gonna be the same way like me, crying, about to cry. And here's what I was saying with the Nipsey one. It was kind of hard because I kept on having to retouch that bottom part, and it kept on lifting up. So make sure you take your time with that part. I think it's a Black Panther, y'all, that I found out, I think. So I went ahead and hand sewed this Black Panther onto the back of the jacket. And as y'all can see, I went through the back to get it through. At first I did it through the front, but it really didn't matter because it was black and I used black thread. But I would go from the back and then to the front, and I just started hand sewing that, and make sure I'm securing it as I'm going through, because we don't want this to come off later on during drying, washing, and anything we may be doing throughout the day. So we want to make sure this is really secure. And I started through like the little black pieces that you see on there, like the little fabric from the back of the panther, and I went through that part, and then I just kept kind of going through like different little hoops, like the little silver parts, and making sure it's really secure. And then I went ahead and kept tying it throughout the process. So I went ahead and chose this font because the other fonts kept on coming off. Like I told y'all, the words was too little. And I finally found one that I can use. And as y'all can see, I only use "The Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want." So I used that one. So the Psalms 23, but I only did like the first verse and I wasn't able to do the full verse. But it still came out cute, y'all. And I was trying to add them in like, different little rows, but I kind of already pressed the Psalm 23, so it had no room. So I just did them side by side because I think that's how I did it on, my when I did the editing, and that's what I did on there. So that's why I just went with that because that's what I originally did. So yeah. Yeah, I remember how I said these verses just came off the dome, and I just picked these verses because I thought it would have went cute with like a boy look. It was crazy because my brother actually liked this verse. He said he liked this Psalms 23, so I'm glad I kind of chose that. So that's what we went with, y'all, and we got lucky, and he really liked that verse. And y'all, this was the part that I said it was 6 a.m. and this is Christmas Day, well, Christmas morning, and I'm still doing this jacket, y'all, but y'all gonna see how fire this jacket came out all together, and I'm happy that I got it done. But y'all, I was so tired.